Hello everybody, this is Hadron in Final Control again, and at the moment we're looking on the Gari Waterhole camera at some Impala. As you can see, there's quite a lot of rams around, and they just all still taking it very easy. It's still quite hot here at 5:15 here at Juma Game Reserve, and as you can see in the left top hand corner, Steve and Mark are still struggling to catch up with that leopard we spent time with this morning called Mafufanyan, and signal is breaking up all the time. As you can see at the moment it's stable because they're quite stationary, so I'll be able to cut to them as soon as they either find the leopard or just get out of that bad signal area. But for the moment, let's enjoy this peaceful scene of these impala just taking it very, very easy. And the moment signal improves on the vehicle, I'll be sure to cut back to them. Stick around.
Back again after some technical difficulties. We're still on the search for this leopard. He's not in the position we would last see. We've got the alarm call of a squirrel just off to our left here. Worthwhile investigating. They are quite useful indicators of presence of predators. And the leopard is last seen. I dislodged the microphone there for a little bit. Now got it back in its original place. So if you didn't quite hear me there, talking about alarm calls and squirrel being a very reliable indicator. Quiet. So what you don't always see, very important in the bush, in this part of the world, to switch off and listen. Sometimes you don't see things, but you hear them. The amount of leopards I've found in my life just from turning off and listening to them calling has been quite a few. Lions as well. It's a little bit too early in the day for either of them to be calling. Nope. Squirrel's gone all quiet on us. We're going to make our way back to the road and continue, see what else we can find. So just before, when we were looking for that leopard in that drainage down there by the water, I didn't grab any of the grasses there purely because there was no audio, but there was a specific grass there called one of our Aerogrostis species, which is a very good indicator of an area that gets a lot of water or an area that seeps water. So when it comes to management in an area where you need to put a road in, for example, or you maybe want to do some building, a little staff house or something, you want to steer clear of areas that are going to have water, and you won't be able to see the water there all the time. Remember, this place is very, very seasonal, so you're only going to see water in the wet season. Say you do your building or your construction of a road in the middle of winter, first rains are going to come and that road is going to turn into a quagmire. You're going to get yourself stuck. Small indicator. All you need to do is understand the species and its inflorescence, and you can make good decisions. There's a lot of environmental control people out there. Hey, we've got a beautiful spider for you here. Fortunately, I've gone and broken her web. Let's see if Mark can get in on that. I'll turn her around. Is that better? Head in the way. We have is a golden orb spider. It's a renomorph, which means it's a spider that lives in a web, and this is the female. I can quite easily say it's the female because of the size. It's a seasonal animal as well. About this time of year, the female is going to reach her maximum size. Obviously, she's feeding on insects. She's got a very, very strong web. It's designed for catching some of the strongest insects. I've even seen them catch small birds. They feed on them, they grow almost 100 times their body size within just a couple of months before going into the plant, laying eggs and dying. The male serves only the purpose of providing her with sperm. He doesn't provide any safety for the youngsters or feed the youngsters or feed her. He actually lives within her web and steals her food. He's probably about 70 times smaller than she is, so he needs to stay well clear of her lest he be eaten. So there's very interesting markings. She's trying to advertise that she's dangerous. Also, by having those markings in the middle of a web, hopefully a bird that's flying is going to see that animal, try and avoid it. But it doesn't always work. I've seen birds flying in and plucking them out of the web and feeding on them. Now, medically important to humans, this isn't. If you give me a bite, it'll probably give me a bit of a headache. Other than that, I wouldn't be too much worse for wear. Fortunately, I've gone and broken her web for her. I should be able to fix that. Very common in the summer months to find a spider just like this in the tree, in between the roads. Quite often get them in your face. There's actually, oh, I guess you can get this one. Little dewdrop spider in my hand here. Keeps falling. See that very small spider there? Trying to bite me now. Very, very small. As you can see on its abdomen, it's got a very shiny spot called a dewdrop spider because of the fact that it actually lives in the web of the golden orb spider, the female. It's got that shiny abdomen, which means it shines like a little drop of moisture on the web, and it is in fact a kleptoparasite, which means that this spider, being extremely small, lives in the web of the adult female golden orb, and it feeds or steals food from her. Kleptomaniac, we all know, is a thief, someone who can't stop stealing, and this particular one feeds on or parasitizes off the food that this female has caught herself. Very, very interesting. Wants to come with me for the ride. I had a question this morning from someone asking me about symbiotic relationships with ants. I'm going to try zoom in on this silver cluster leaf nexus here, where we've got a huge accumulation of ants on the plant itself. What they are feeding on, I'm not 100% sure. But they do look like the stinging kind of ant. Pugnacious ant. I'm going to have to look that one up when I get back. They definitely look like they're enjoying themselves. Mark just dipping his finger in, seeing if there's any sort of drop tail ant. Mark believes it might be the drop tail ant.
We'll check that when we get back.
Yeah, we'll investigate, see what we can find out. I haven't worked too much with silver cluster leaves in the area I was in, so I'm not too sure on species specific relationships as far as they're concerned.
Up and down the road. We'll loop around the other way.